So I've had about a couple of texts. I don't know what I'm doing. I just started recording, basically. I was trying to think before recording, hey, what should I say? But I believe that this will go to the right people. Now, it may go to people who just swipe right by immediately, you know. But also, you may say, and I thank you for that, because that means that you're willing to get closer to God. I wish everyone stayed, but you did. Thank you. Now, back to what I was saying. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay? I grew up Christian. Okay? And I still don't know what I'm doing. Now, granted, I am young, and I enjoy stuff that's sinning. I don't like to admit it, but I do. And I hope that God waits to do the rapture till I'm able to break free from that. And I hope that He waits for you too. Because I don't want you to go to hell. I don't. I want you to feel loved by everyone. I want you to know that you're loved by everyone. Please. Just try. And if not, that's okay, I guess. Hopefully someone does eventually persuade you. Because I don't care if it's me, I don't care if it's whoever. As long as you get closer to God, I'm happy. Because that means that at least one more person is going to get into heaven. And one less person has to suffer for all of eternity because either they were scared or they wanted to run away because they had too much fun or whatever. You know, I don't want you to sell that. I don't want you to sell your soul just to have fun. Because I'm basically just saying this, okay? I love you. And nothing's ever gonna change that. I may get mad at you, but I'll always love you. But there's someone who will always love you and never get mad at you. That's God. He's better than me, than you, than anybody combined. And He will help you. If you're scared, if you don't think that God's going to come to you, that He's going to help you, don't. Yes, it may seem like He's not there, but He is. And He loves you, just like I do. So I hope that today you just read your Bible at the least, man. I want to see you up in heaven. I don't want to forget about you. I really don't. And every time I think about all the people who sell their bodies, who only worry about money, who, anything with sin, and I think if they go down that path for the rest of their life, they're going to hell. And then I get sad. I've done that too many times that I've gotten numb. And I don't really know what to do. I want to cry, but I can't. The only time I can cry is when I talk to God. I don't know why I can't cry. Anyways, God will give you what you want. In the sense of, I wanted to cry because I just wanted to cry. I was sad. I was thinking about the people who are going to not be there up in heaven. You know, how there's only 1/3 of the people are going to go up into heaven. And I wish it would say 3/3. But no matter what, go say 1/3. Why can't it say 3/3 though? God's weird. Not in the sense of like, weird, but it's like, it's weird, the concept. And when I'm saying this, I still believe in God. But it's weird. Yeah. And it's scary sometimes, because you don't know. And you just forget about God. Forget about what's important. You just lay there scared. I remember last year, I was addicted to weed. And I brought it to school. Smoked it. I wish I didn't now. And I still remember when I went home, I just grabbed my Bible. I went outside and just said, God, I'm sorry. And I broke down. I couldn't stop crying. I just said, God, I'm sorry. And I kept on saying, please forgive me. I was so scared they would never forgive me. I thought he was going to say no. That he said, I gave you too many chances. But no, he didn't. He's still there with me. And I remember that when I said, God, please forgive me, I'm sorry. Even when he was trying to comfort me, I was still crying. At one point, at least. And I'm not saying that he can't comfort me. No. I'm just saying, you're not alone. You're not the only person who had a time where they messed up, or they felt like they would never, they'll never be loved or anything like that. And it hurts a lot. So much so that after a while, it stops. And I may say stuff like twice, and I'm sorry if I do, but I just turned on record again. I just turned on record and said, I'm just going to start talking. But anyways, God helped me through a bunch of stuff. And I'll be lying if I said I always went to him. And right now, I feel like the biggest, I don't know, because it's like, I told God, I said, God, use me however you need me to do, tell me what to do. He's not going to tell you what to do, I know that for sure. But yeah, I'm hoping that maybe, because I mean, these couple of days just felt like unreal. I know I'm not going to, just disappear or whatever, but it's still scary. And God has been with me every step of the way. And even though I was sinning, He's still with me. He's still with me right now. And oh yeah, also, I just thought about this. You saying, why does God let bad things happen, makes no sense. Because if you read the Bible, even just like the couple first things, you'd see that God says free will. You don't even have to read the Bible to see that you have free will. I could say, fuck you, God. Now, when I say that, God, I'm sorry. Okay, I was just making an example of it. Please forgive me. But anyways. Sorry, I just lost track. Probably wasn't a good point anyways. Also, if you want to get closer to God, I want you to do this. Do what I'm doing. Sit down. Start recording. Just talk about him. Talk about how he's been in your life. Talk about the times where it's been bad. And just think God was with you when that happened. Now, yes, you may be like, man, why didn't he help me? Don't get mad at him. Get mad at yourself, because guess what? I bet you if you went back in time to that time, you would realize that you weren't even thinking about him. You didn't even give him a chance. You just said, man, I'm sad. I'm scared. I'm lonely, whatever. You didn't say, I wish God was here. Because if you did, you wouldn't be wishing, because he's already there. Never forget that. And oh yeah, sorry. Back to the that was my bad. My brain just back to you saying like how free or if God is real, why does God let bad things happen? Free will. That right there. Now you may be like, what? Now let me explain, okay? Free will, okay? That means that you get to think on your own. That means you can do whatever you want, you can act however you want, okay? Now, let's say you were born in times when a little bit after Jesus died, or whatever. Times whenever it wasn't like we had technology. I don't know where I'm going with this anymore. I'm just gonna switch to something else. I'm so sorry that I'm switching on everything. I wish I could. Oh yeah. Yeah, let's say that okay, you were born. Now let's say that you were born there. You're here. We don't have to say that. We could just say you were born, okay? And let's say your mom died. Okay? Now let's say you grew up thinking, okay, let me restart. Let's say, okay, you're born, okay? And then let's say God made your mom died while you were being born or whatever, Don't get mad at him. Because I've seen things happen to where bad things happen and good outcomes happen because of the bad outcome. For example, my aunt and uncle, they had a kid before I was born, or they were having a kid, and it died, sadly. But because of that, they got closer. And then now I have my cousin, and yeah. So don't try to make the excuse, if God's real, why does bad things happen? Because, okay, let me just restart. I just realized I probably just made a point for something else, and I just said that. Okay, let me go back to this. If God is not real, why does he let bad things happen? Okay. If God is not real, why does he let bad things happen? Alright? Now, I want you to think. Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve, they're out there, God says, hey, nothing bad's gonna happen to you, okay? Nothing's bad's gonna happen to you. But I'm also gonna give you free will, so you can do whatever you want. Now, with that information, he doesn't want them to eat the apple from the tree of Eden or whatever. Tree of knowledge, I think. I'm sorry, I'm not really perfect with all that. But anyway, Eve said, hey, I'm gonna eat that apple, or actually, wait, hold on. No, she was okay, yeah, that was my bad. Satan manipulated her. And because of that, because Eve didn't turn to God when something was tempting her, we now live in a society where bad things happen. Now, I'm not blaming them. No. I'm not blaming God. I'm not blaming them. But I'm just saying, just the reason why bad things happen is because the devil. Actually, wait, no. That's the whole reason why bad things happen, because of the devil. Because he finds people who are weak, and then he makes them do stuff. Bad stuff. Bad things. Now, you could say, well, why doesn't God stop him? Well, God believes that if he stops them, then he's taken, actually, wait, no, he doesn't believe, he knows. If he stops them, that's going to be taking away your free will, or the devil's free will. And he said, I'm never going to take your free will. At least I think he said. Because, if he lets it happen, it's happening, and it's not stopping until either he wants it to, or he wants it to. So don't say bad things happen, or don't say God isn't real because bad things happen. Bad things happen because the devil finds people who are weak, and he makes bad things happen. And then he'll go on to those people who so there's the people who are doing bad things, the victims. What he'll do is he'll make them weak. He'll basically take weak people and get them to make other people weak, so he can keep on the cycle, So, bad things happen, yes, because of the devil, okay? I believe that if God never created the devil, nothing bad would ever happen. Because everything happened, because God basically had to throw Eve and Adam out of the Garden of Eden because of the devil. Okay? So don't say that. Every time I hear that, I just think of that. And sometimes I wish I could just say, or go through my phone to that person who says God isn't real because bad things happen, and just tell them that, just because I don't want people to go to hell, of course. And if you're a Christian and you say, I hope you go to hell, you're not a Christian. Flat out saying you're not a Christian. So never do that if you want to be a Christian. And I'm gonna pray. I don't know what I'm gonna pray about. You know what? I do. I'm gonna pray about this video. Lord, I pray for this video. I pray that it helps. That at least one person, because one is better than none. I don't care if they say they hate me afterwards. I just want them to believe in you, Lord. And I say this, Lord, if they do say they hate me, let that stop them from going to heaven, Lord. I don't care. I don't want it. Please, Lord. Now, I don't know what I'm getting in this video. But anyways. God, I wouldn't be here without God. You wouldn't be here without God. Say you disagree, but no matter what, I always hope you say you agree with me. You know, I don't even care. You could disagree with me, you could do what... I just wish everyone went to heaven. You know? I wish everyone would go to heaven, so they would sort of... Because, I mean, at least if I believed that, and I'm not saying I believe that, but if I did, at least I'd be able to, you know, think, hey, every time I see someone, I'd be like, hey, I'll be able to see him in heaven, at least, you know. At least then, because then, you know, they're not going to care if I did something to them. Or they're not going to care what I looked like or whatever. And even at that, I don't even care if they were mean to me in heaven. Because, I mean, at least they were in heaven. At least they don't have to be in hell and regret for the rest of eternity. I wish God said this was a joke sometimes. That he was kidding, that everyone's gonna go to heaven no matter what. But it's never gonna happen. Just a dream, I guess. And instead of me going like this, I'm gonna say this. Please. I want to see you in heaven. I love you so much. And nothing will ever stop me from loving you. I will love you as a brother or sister forever. Even if I forget about you, I'll still love you. And whatever. You could say whatever. You could say I'm weird for saying I love you. I don't care. I get called weird every day. That ain't nothing. And just from saying this, I mean, the devil may say, hey, I'm going to get Ev and just absolutely destroy your self-esteem. You know what? I don't care. Do it. Yes, I may be scared. Yes, I'll be sad. Yes, I'll be wishing that God would take me if he did do that to where my life was hell, almost hell. always remember that God's with you. God, I mean, I don't really know what to say. God is there. He loves you, no matter what. It may sometimes sound hard to believe, but it's true. Because if it wasn't, I wouldn't be here. Because sometimes I look for a reason not to believe in God. I don't want to admit that. But I used to do that a lot. I used to try and find a way to know that God wasn't real. I luckily don't do it now. But back then I did. And I would be lying if I said I found a theory that can be proven and that it can't be disproven that God is not real. Because every time I say, God, this is the last time I'm going to ask you, are you real? And give me a sign. And he doesn't, I always turn to him. Now, you may think that you don't need anyone else. And you may be right at some times. Hell, you're wrong at all times. Yeah. Now, let's talk about the devil. Now, I'm not going to, I don't like him, but I still love him. Because I hope that someday that him hearing me say I love him will change his mind and that he'll bow down to God and realize that God just wants to love him, man. He just wants to love you. But he doesn't want people who say they love him but don't mean it. And I wish everyone loved God. I wish I could go back in time and just, I don't know. I don't know, man. Life's hard. It really is. But, I mean, everyone's life's hard. Life is hard. At some point. No one's life is easy. And sometimes I feel like quitting. I mean, even the other day, I remember I looked at my wrists and I was thinking about it. But then I remember I looked at my screen and I saw a YouTuber, and I remember said, "Hey God." No, I didn't. Did I? I just remember, because I remember I was sitting there thinking about my life, thinking about God. And I probably didn't say anything about God. But he definitely did something there. Because I remember, nobody was talking to me, and I felt like I had no friends. You know, and for me, that's almost everything. At least that's a lot of things for when it comes to. I'm basically happy if I have someone around me, who talks to me and all that. And I remember seeing something that just made me think, are they my real friends? And it got me thinking about times people have used me. For instance, people would act like my friends to get, like, some would act like my friends so they can get a ride out of me. And I was thinking, man, I have no friends. None. Just a loser. And I looked at my wrists, and I sat there for a second, and I was thinking, do I want to do this? And God stopped me. He made me hesitate, because I was thinking about him, and I was like, do I want to do this? And then because also my TV was playing YouTube, and in that moment I was looking at my wrists. Everything was quiet. Everything. But then, out of nowhere, I just heard, something. I looked up, I saw TV, and I saw a YouTuber, and I was like, you know what? How about just watch a video? And after that video, I wasn't depressed. And I still remember saying, thank you, God, for bringing that video at the right time. And I said thank you to the YouTuber for making that video to make me laugh. And yeah. So do with that information what you will, or whatever. So, you know what? I'm running out of things to say just because I'm not good at this. So yeah.